Alright, what's good YouTube? It's your boy CJ. We back with another video. Today I'm gonna be breaking down a long setup that I took on gold. Today was a solid setup. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not too okay with the way that I follow my plan. If I had to grade myself today with my trading, I'm probably gonna grade myself a solid F. Because I didn't truly follow my rules. I ended up taking a 1 minute setup. I don't like taking 1 minute setups in session. You know what I'm saying? But I ended up doing it. I broke my rules and it made a little bit under 2%. So I can't really complain. Only thing I can do is really reinforce my rules for tomorrow and the day after so that it don't happen again. But I ended up taking a long setup on gold. So let's go ahead and check this out. Let's hit the charts. We're gonna break this trade down. Let me jump out to the 4 hour. Alright, so jumping out to the 4 hour, we can see that we're in an obvious uptrend. You know what I'm saying? We're in the process of making, we got a low, we got a breaker structure, we broke above this, we made a higher high, we have a lower high, we made a higher high again. So we're in the process of making higher highs and higher lows. We're in an uptrend. And recently, like I said in my last video, we had the Federal Open Market Committee who ended up keeping our rates the same. On top of this, we seen President Trump come out and pretty much announce that he's going to be imposing taxes on Mexico, China, Canada, and these things are pretty inflationary for the United States economy and very detrimental to those economies as well. So during times of uncertainty and inflation, we see people kind of throw their money at gold. Large investors are going to start putting their money in gold to, save the value of it. So we can see a lot of bullish pressure during these times going to gold. So as we see here, we see a lot of bullish pressure coming to gold with this impulse upward with the breaker structure, and we're seeing small choppy retracements to the downside. What does this tell me? It tells me that there's more buyers than sellers in the market because it is strength in the move. The bullish move is extremely strong while the retracement was extremely weak. So I came to the market this morning at about 7:38ish. So I'm gonna drop down to the 1 hour. At this time, I had seen that price had printed this bullish engulfing that kind of closed above these candles right over here, this consolidation, as well as crossing back above the 13 EMA. So that was a good sign for me. Still no trade setup though. So during the 8 o'clock hour, we seen price had shot up even more, and this was an extreme bullish impulse, and we ended up breaking this structure to the left. So at this point, I'm thinking, okay, buyers are in the market. Buyers into the chat. I'm trying to get in the chat too. So once I seen that we broke above this structure, I dropped down to the 15 minute. And we see everything we just talked about, but there's no entry. You know what I'm saying? There's no information for us here on the 15 minute. Only thing that we can see is volume started to pick up during this uptrend and ended up shooting up in an extreme manner to break this structure. So now that we broke the structure, we're looking, okay, where's the demand zone that ended up breaking the structure? You know what I'm saying? Where did that move start from? And that's what we're going to try to get in at. So dropping down to the 5 minute, I ended up seeing this demand zone right in here. We have this nice zone that printed right here, which yielded this bullish impulse that broke this structure. We also have a gap right here. So, some of the things I look for when it comes to a demand zone are extreme bullish pressure, a gap, and a breaker structure. We got all three right here. So now we just need, all I was waiting for was price to come back to the level. I needed a rejection, and I'm hopping in a trade. Now, I think it was about 9 a.m. Yeah, 9 a.m., 9:05. We seen price dancing on this 13 EMA right here. And this is where I started to get a little bit impatient. I'm like, is it going to come back to my entry? I'm about to get off the chart soon. I'm not waiting for this shit. So I seen price dancing off the 13 EMA and it created another impulse up. So at this point, not going to lie, y'all, I gave up on this zone. I'm like, that zone is chalked. It's over. It's not coming back. So I waited up here on the 5 minute. We got another impulse. So same thing we look for right down here. We got our impulse, breaker structure, gap, we got the exact same thing up here. We got our zone right in here. We got the impulse up, breaker structure, and a gap right here. You know what I'm saying? Now, the thing is I think when I was sitting here at this moment, I looked to the left and I saying, yeah, the all-time highs is right here. This thing was moving with a full-headed sting straight up into it. Usually, if you're able to break an all-time high, you got to do it with a full-headed sting. And once you break it, there's no chances, there's no guarantees that it's gonna hold. So at this point, I kind of gave up on this setup. And I even gave up on this setup because we're breaking this structure. So I'm thinking, okay, when are we going to come back to that structure? You know what I'm saying? So I ended up dropping down to the 1 minute. Come on now. Don't do this. Okay. So I ended up dropping down to the 1 minute. Same thing again. Now, this setup was a little bit risky. Why? Because we're already over top of the break of structure. So one thing that happens, like we've all seen it. When you get a break and a retest, sometimes you're gonna see the price come up, it's gonna break above, and it's gonna come back down to retest some type of structure. So on the 1 minute, I took the break out. You know what I'm saying? So I seen that the price ended up breaking above this area, and I came back down to test this zone. I wanted to end up getting in on a break of this candle, but like I said, I'm on a 1 minute. I'm normally not down there, so I ended up entering once we broke above this candle right over here to the left, giving myself a little bit more of a rejection to trade off of. So I pretty much had zero drawdown on this trade. I ended up targeting a 2-to-1, and honestly, I was 100% lucky because we're in no man's land up here. I literally just chose a 2-to-1. It wasn't based off of my take profit wasn't based off of any technicals. It wasn't based off of any zones, no liquidity or anything was up here because we already broke above this swing high right here. You know what I'm saying? This is all-time highs, guys. So there's nothing for me to know where price is going to turn around from. And I was extremely lucky. I ended up getting out right up at the highs, right up in here. Was able to take profit on the way up. So I ended up getting a little bit less than 2%, which I have no complaints on because that's pretty aggressive to be trading. But you know, this is a solid setup. But like I said today, y'all, I'm not extremely happy with the way I traded. I would like to show up every single day and stick to my strategy 100% no matter what. Because once you start to kind of, days like this are the days where I have to sit there and reinforce to myself, like, okay, yeah, you made money, but at the end of the day, you didn't follow your strategy. And that can come back to bite you in the ass later down the line, because you don't want to create a bad habit or reinforce bad habits with positive results. Today, you know, I did trade the strategy. It was still a demand setup, and I traded supply and demand. But today, like, it wasn't optimal because, you know, number one, I'm usually not on the 1 minute. Number two, the setup wasn't A+. I still ended up taking it and I made money. So like I said, it was just about reinforcing it to myself. But guys, everybody's going to go through those periods of time where, you know, for whatever reason, you just don't follow your strategy. Sometimes people say, oh, it's because you ain't lost enough money. Some people might say it's just because you're not disciplined as a person. Who knows? But it's all about that inner work, y'all. Like, I feel like that's where I'm at right now in my journey. Is just all about the inner work. It's me versus me. It's not me versus the market. I'm way past making the market an enemy. The market does what it does, and only thing I can do is get up in there and move with it. But me personally, every time I've seen myself draw back, it's just me and me. You know what I'm saying? Everything that I've done that have been a drawback in my journey ever, I can attribute it to myself. But it's just all about doing the inner work, y'all. And a lot of beginners are not going to understand it because you're just thinking it's like a game. Like, oh, how can I get the best entry? How can I do this? But once you get all that out the way, it's literally like a video game. If you can figure out how to play GTA, 2K, and all this other stuff, and you're looking at the screen, not even looking at the controller, if you can figure out how to do that, you can figure out the technicals on the chart. But the part that actually yields a profitable trader over the long period of time is the ability to take your emotions out of this and to stick to a detailed trading plan for a prolonged period of time. And that's going to be very important for y'all. And being able to stay consistent when you're not motivated, because your motivation is going to come and go, guys. But it's really all about your faith and your discipline and your consistency. Because the discipline and the consistency, or sometimes they drive me, like me, sometimes they drive me when my body, like, I'm not even there. Like, sometimes I don't know, like, I'll get home from work, I'll get back to the crib, and I know I need to read, I'll read one of my books, and I'll be so tired that it's almost like my motivation, or not my motivation, my discipline and my consistency are reading the book for me. Like, it's crazy. It's like I'm sitting here and I'm just like, I'm tired as fuck, but I know the book need to get read, so it's going to get read. It doesn't really have nothing to do with how I feel. It's more so just whatever need to get done is going to get done, and it only is able to get done because I'm just used to knocking it out. You know what I'm saying? Because there's going to be days where you're just not. You're not physically, like, you're not to say you're not ready, but you don't feel like doing this shit. You know you need to backtest 20 to 30 trades a day, but you don't feel like sitting here and journaling and taking the setup and journaling the results. It's just going to happen, though. Like, when you're disciplined and you're consistent, you're going to get here, you're going to sit here at the chair, and your arms and your brain is just going to be doing stuff. Even though you're fatigued, you're tired as hell, you're just going to be here doing it because you know it needs to get done. If you can get yourself in that state of psychosis, I promise you, you're going to be very profitable in these markets. And I am too. But I'm on a journey with everybody else. I ain't nobody special, but I guarantee you I'm down to work harder than your average person. You know what I'm saying? And if anybody's going to be successful, you got to have that mindset. You got to be willing to do the stuff that nobody else wants to do. There's a bunch of people out there right now that swear up and down, yo, I want to be successful, I want to be a trader, I want to do this, I want to do that. Even in other facets, you know what I'm saying? They swear up and down they want to be successful. But if somebody say, okay, you want to be a trader? You need to be back testing 20 to 30 trades per day. You need to journal the result of the trades. You need to journal how much you risk. You need to be reading at least a chapter of a mindset book every single day. You need to be meditating. You need to be using risk management with every single trade. You need to trade the exact same setup every single day. You need to be journaling after each trading session. You know what I'm saying? Somebody give you a detailed blueprint on everything you need to do. A lot of the people, they still not finna do it. They're gonna say, do I really need, I don't need to do all that. I don't need to journal. I don't need to backtest. I don't need to pray. I don't need to do none of this shit. You know what I'm saying? But it just comes down to, yo, are you going to be disciplined and consistent, and do you want to put in the work? It's really all that. But I'm rambling right now, y'all. I'm hungry as hell. I'm about to go make me something to eat. But y'all, please stay disciplined, stay consistent in these markets. I'm going to do my best to do the same, and I'm going to meet y'all at the top. So until next time, I'm going to get with y'all boys. Y'all stay blessed out there in these markets, bro.